I'm John. It's from John's Pipe Journey. It's Monday, so I'm smoking my Monday Missouri Meerschaum pipe. And as an honor and a memorial to Eustace's mother, I'm smoking Carter Hall out of one of my favorite Missouri Meerschaum cobs. This has a bone acrylic stem that I put on it afterwards from Vermont Freehand, and this is the 155th anniversary celebration pipe. And there's the date. It was from last year, and from 1869 to 2024. Thanks, Greg. Great. Went out immediately as soon as I put my lighter away. That was the false light. There was some sort of creature making a noise behind me. Not sure what it was. There's been a deer coming up right on the other side of that fence. I put out a organic salt lick, and it comes every day. Thanks, Greg. I love it. The weather's been perfect lately. It's been the high 70s or low 80s, usually with a nice breeze. So it feels like fall compared to like how it's been. This is like it's 5 o'clock, I think. Oh, 6:15. It's the perfect time to be outside. It's kind of like the bewitching hour. But it's really calm and the temperature's perfect. I did have to wipe a little bug stuff on myself because we've got these microscopically small mosquitoes that you can't even see at all hardly. They're the size of a gnat. And usually you don't even feel them biting you, but they do cause you to itch for a couple of days, so they're annoying. The mosquitoes we had in New York were like, could carry you away, and they hurt like anything. Oh, I'm gonna try. I was having trouble getting that other one to light. Oh, I got so many pockets here. That's what I like about these pants. Thanks, Katie and Steven. Wow. Oh, I'm still plugging along with my other channel that's just John Newton 3678. reading the King James Bible. I've gone from chapter 1 of Genesis all the way through Nahum. I'm on the Minor Prophets. I'm just about done with the Old Testament. I got like 3 more to go. I'm thinking about maybe having the Old Testament on one thumb drive and the New Testament on another one. I don't know how much space it's going to take, so I thought that might be a better idea. I also thought today, I actually thought that I'd make it available to anybody in my church. Because if we had people that wanted it, like the church would buy thumb drives and it could duplicate it onto those. I've had a lot of responses from people that have trouble reading and stuff, and they're really grateful that I'm doing that so that they can just listen. Oh, and watch my cats. I almost always have a cat on my lap of one of the 4. Oh, and I think Papa Bear had mentioned after I showed off my new safety razor I got for Father's Day, he said to give us an update. Well, I have gone from hating to shave to actually loving it, and my face now is as smooth as the baby's behind all the time, without getting razor burn and little bumps and stuff that I used to get all the time from a cartridge razor. And I just thought it was because I had curly hair, but it was because of the razor. But anyway, it's kind of fun because there's a wet shave. There's probably a community for everything, but there's a YouTube, like the YTPC, there's a wet shaving community on YouTube that's probably about the same size. I'm not sure if it is or not, but it's a fun hobby because, like with the tobaccos, there's probably 100 different blades being made still. 2 of them are made in the United States still, and the Med Prep blade that the doctors use to, if you're going to get surgery, they shave that area. They're made in the United States, and then this other company's making them too. And they're made in Egypt and India, and Russia's got a bunch of factories, Greece and Israel. They're just Pakistan, I think. But anyway, there's a ton of different ones, and they all slightly have different blade profiles and stuff and how sharp they are. Oh, Japan. And like the sharpest one you can get is a feather blade that comes from Japan. But I've been documenting, because there's so many different ones, I've been documenting every time I shave and have a different blade, like document the results I get. And so I'm having a good time pairing the perfect blade with my razor. And I'd already had a couple other razors, and they vary in blade exposure and blade gap. So if you've got a lot of blade exposure and blade gap, it's going to be really aggressive. And so that's one that's cuts really long hair if you waited a whole week. It's really efficient, but that's one you have to be careful with, or you end up nicking yourself or giving yourself razor burn or something if you're not careful. But if you pair it with the right blade, it can be super comfortable and give you a great shave. So I've got razors that have different, like I have 2 that one's a mild and one's a medium from the same company. And then I have one that has 6 different plates. Well, 3 different plates. You flip them over. It's made in Canada. And no, Yeah. No, it's made in the United States. The company's a Canadian company. And the other two I have are Canadian companies. But anyway, the one that has the 3 plates, you can flip them over, and so there's 6 different settings of how aggressive or efficient the razor is, and so you can dial it in real easily with that. That's kind of a really cool one. But anyway, I've become a disciple of traditional wet shaving now because of how much fun it is, and the fact that I'm not all, zitty underneath here and bumps and stuff. I haven't had one ingrown hair or razor bump or anything since March when I started. And to me, that's like a miracle. I used to constantly have these little zit things that were like infected hairs, basically, from the cartridge razor cutting the hair off below the surface of the skin. And then the skin seals over, and then when the hair tries to grow back through, it can't get through there, and some of them tend to curl over and then becomes infected. And since I used to have curly hair, I thought that was just natural for my hairs to be curly anyway, so I thought that was just because I had curly hair, and it actually had nothing to do with my hair. But anyway, so that's the report, Papa Bear. I've been having just about the perfect shave every day, and I'm documenting them all so that I'm not wasting a ton of money buying the wrong blades. I just buy small amounts and test them out and see how I like them. Anybody that is interested in or tired of getting ingrown hairs and stuff or hates shaving, let me know in the comments and I can direct you to a nice razor that's like pretty much idiot proof, because it is different than using a cartridge razor, because they flex and you end up pressing real hard for cartridge razors, and you don't press at all really with the safety razor. You let the weight of the safety razor just glide down your skin, so you don't press in at all really. Well, this Carter Hall is okay. I'm not a Carter Hall fan, but it was for Yusuf's mother. And I'm sure everybody knows now, but Yusuf's mother passed away a couple of days ago, and he was still in the United States and couldn't get back there. And because he's Muslim, they have to bury him like the next day or something, so he couldn't even be part of any of that. That's really sad, to not being able to kind of say goodbye, because that's kind of how you get your closure. So Yusuf needs all of our prayers for peace and calm spirit. I lost both of my parents a long time ago. So, it was so long ago that I don't have sad feelings or anything anymore at all. The only feelings I have are, hopefully, I'm hoping they're in heaven, but I'm not sure about that. That saddens me. I wish I knew for sure. Not much going on here. I've had to mow the lawn so much, it's like, but we've had such a dry spell, it's finally getting to the point where the grass isn't growing quite as fast. It was boiling hot, but the grass was still growing like crazy. And so I had to mow it about every 3 or 4 days. about every 4 days, and my yard takes me about 3 days to do because one day I have to use a push mower and do all the edge work in all the areas that the riding mower can't really get to. And then the next day I use a riding mower to get the big part of the yard, and then the next time after that is the weed whacking. So big rigmarole, and then I have to wait a couple of days and then start back over again. But I think now I won't have to, because this lawn over to my left, you're right, is starting to turn kind of brownish. Before it was like super green and lush. So I think the heat is finally taking its toll on the yard. Yeah, I know that's super interesting to talk about cutting the grass. That's the thing, I apologize. Since I'm not buying stuff, I don't have any cool new thing to show off. And that's one of the fun things is about making a video, is you got some cool thing to show off. I mean, for anybody that hasn't seen, this pipe is cool looking. I love this, and if you haven't seen that, you know, that's kind of a new thing. Oh, on the bottom it's got a coin. This one has an owl on it. It says Missouri made and crafted for 155 years. So it was their, you know, it was their 155th celebration special, one of their special pipes that they made for it. So that's cool if you haven't seen it. And it smokes fantastically. The bowl is kind of medium size, so it's maybe a half an hour smoke or something like that. But it's really a nice size. And I like the extra long stem because I think that looks a lot more attractive. The other one that came with it was like stopped about here, and it was an acrylic stem, but I can't even remember, it might have been black or something, so I immediately put this one on it. Oh, another cool thing is I live in the middle of literally nowhere, out in the middle of nowhere, and we have about 1,000 acre. It's a kind of a gated community, but it's only gated just because they close the gate during deer season, so it's not anything, you know, not fancy gated community, but there's one road in, put it that way, and there's only about 8 people that live here. Some of them are couples, but most of them are single people, or, you know, a lot of them are pretty old. And 2 of them now smoke pipes. So I formed my own little pipe club, and I teach Sunday school, and 2 of the guys in my Sunday school class now smoke pipes. So I've created a little pipe club so that I don't have to just, you know, smoke a pipe and live vicariously through the internet all the time. I mean, it's nice to smoke by yourself, but it's even more nice if you got somebody over to talk to and stuff. So, but that's good news. You know, this isn't going to light out here because of it doesn't even seem breezy. The old Zippo always works. Yeah, it's so quiet. Excuse me, so quiet. The crows, or the chickens, aren't even crowing. I hear one bird way off in the distance. I can't really identify it either. We got one that sounds like something you'd hear in the Brazilian rainforest, and it's called a yellow-billed cuckoo. And its nickname is the storm crow, no, rain crow. And somehow it knows when it's going to rain, and it always makes its noise, and it's always way up high in a tree, and it makes its noise before it rains. And so it's kind of a weather forecaster. Lately it's been incorrect, but we've had a lot of storms come through, but it didn't end up raining, just some little thunder and lightning, but the rain part kind of missed us. But that's really cool, because the first time I heard it, I'm like, what the heck is that thing? And I was able to figure it out, and it's a yellow-billed cuckoo. Well, anyway, I've been rambling on for 21 minutes now. It's good to see everybody. I appreciate all of the views I get and the subscribers, and know that I really appreciate you guys. And I love this group of guys. Everybody has always seemed super nice and giving, and always wanting to, share tobacco or pipes or whatever. That's something that's kind of unusual in this day and age. So hats off to you guys. Oh, now you can see my bald head. Anyway, this is John, and until next time, God bless.